I gotta establish some background information so the structure of the what if would be clean. So first of all, the story would be set around just before the Chunin exam's final rounds, the part where Naruto and Jiraiya will be training. The reason I chose this part of the story is because I don't see the first episode Naruto would be able to master Sage Mode just like that. He doesn't even have that much good chakra control, let alone someone to teach him. I understand Naruto would create a lot of shadow clones by that time, but you see, Sage Mode is way more complex than that. So I think it's pretty weird to pick that scenario. Also, Senjutsu is allowed in the Chunin exams in this timeline since it would be very interesting to experiment how it would go against Naruto's opponents. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get into the what if. So the story starts off with Naruto finishing his summoning jutsu training earlier than the real timeline, like around 3 days since Naruto was so determined. He was also able to control his QB chakra earlier this time as well. Naruto is pretty underwhelmed as he finished all his training earlier than expected and asks Jiraiya if he has any other cool jutsus he could teach him. Jiraiya looks at him with a serious glance. Well, there is one, but it's too early for you to learn it right now. Naruto just basically starts begging after that, saying how he needs to avenge Hinata and beat Neji. Jiraiya throws his hand up in defeat and said, alright, I'm only gonna do this because I see the fourth Hokage in you, no other reason. Naruto's face lightens up in enjoyment. So what do I have to do, Pervy Sage? Jiraiya answers, just wait, I'm gonna summon a toad so he can perform a reverse summoning to take us to a secret place that's not on the map. Naruto nods his head and minutes later the toad appears. We then cut to the time when they arrive at Mount Miyamboko. Jiraiya explains the concept of the jutsu Naruto is about to learn, Sage Mode, about how it boosts your speed, strength, and sensory skills by a mile. He then goes on to explain that to acquire this power you have to learn to control your natural energy with your normal chakra. Naruto looks a little confused, but he processes all the information to his head. Naruto would then say, let's do this, Pervy Sage, we got 4 weeks left. I need to do this. Jiraiya nods his head and responds, I wasn't a perfect sage, but I see a lot of potential in you. You better complete this training. Jiraiya sees Naruto as a successor and believes he could master Sage Mode. Naruto cries out, I will master the Sage Mode, believe it. So just a little reminder, Naruto has finished his summoning training in 3 days, so now he needs to master Sage Mode in 4 weeks before the final rounds of the Chunin exams. Also, I think Naruto could learn Sage Mode in weeks because of how determined he was to avenge Hinata. Now we're gonna have a 4-week time skip. We skip to Naruto running late into the arena as he just finished Sage Mode training. He arrives just as the arena closes its gate, in time for his fight with Neji. They both stare each other down before the battle starts. Naruto has a speech on when he becomes Hokage. He'll change the Hyuga clan ways and change Neji's beliefs on destiny. Neji just smirks and says how it would be just as easy to win against Naruto as his fight with Hinata. Naruto just goes serious and the battle starts. Naruto doesn't go Sage Mode just yet, as it has a time limit to how long it could be on. So he just does a few shadow clone jutsus to distract Neji. Neji easily dismantles the clones one by one while getting closer to the real Naruto. At this point, Naruto now thinks it's time for him to go Sage Mode. He summons more shadow clones in front of him as a shield for him to perform Sage Mode. Neji starts his palm rotation technique on the clones, revealing Naruto. Luckily, Naruto finished going into his Sage Mode state, just at the time Neji was about to do his palm rotation. His pupils go to a toad-like state, and orange surrounds his eyes. Naruto completes Sage Mode and is ready to go against Neji. Naruto dodges Neji's attack easily, with Sage Mode increasing his speed by a mile. The whole crowd goes wild. Neji just smirks. Where'd you find that from? Naruto replies, my secret move. So we're back into the battle with Naruto vs Neji. Neji has just witnessed Naruto's new Sage Mode power. Neji runs furiously, thinking he won't let Naruto show off his new ability. Naruto just smirks and throws a fist in Neji's direction, but not actually hitting him. What was that? You just punched the air, Neji says, still running at Naruto. and at that moment, a large impact lands on Neji's face, sending him across the arena. The whole crowd is confused on what just happened. In the crowd, the third Hokage muffles to himself. Jiraiya, I can't believe you taught him that so early. Neji lands on the ground, unclear what just happened. Yes, while Naruto was training to get into Sage Mode, he also let Frog Kata, enhancing his Taijutsu ability too. Naruto starts running at Neji while Neji realizes Naruto is too fast for him to block and gets pounded by Naruto's fist. Naruto shouts, I'm going to show you how someone's destiny can change, Neji. You can't say what someone's fate should be, so take this. Naruto rockets a hard punch straight at Neji, sending him to the end of the arena, knocking him unconscious. It's over, Neji, Naruto says to himself. And at that point the whole crowd cheers and screams, witnessing Naruto bodying a Hyuga clan member. Naruto finds Hinata in the crowd and gives her a thumbs up, while smiling. Hinata's face turns red in enjoyment while keeping her cool. The announcer roars, Naruto Uzumaki has won the round. His Sage Mode goes away as he walks out the arena, meeting up with the other Konoha 11, amazed on what they just saw. So after the match, we get all the final rounds, all the way up to Sasuke vs Gaara like the original. The battle starts the same way, with Sasuke making his Chidori and unleashing it at Gaara. Gaara goes into his partial one-tailed state and goes out of control. The attack on Konoha starts with the Feather Illusion Jutsu. Orochimaru goes to deal with the third Hokage and their fight is the same, nothing changes. Kankuro and Temari take Gaara out of the arena, like the original, and go to the forest to try to calm down Gaara. Sasuke goes after them and Naruto realizes this. In this story, Naruto doesn't fall under the Genjutsu Kabuto put. Kakashi releases it from him. Kakashi tells Naruto, I think you're the only one who can stop Gaara at the moment, with your special Sage Mode. You know it? Naruto sounding shocked. Kakashi nods his head. Naruto stands still, getting all the natural energy in him, like Jiraiya says, and goes into Sage Mode. Knowing where Sasuke is going with sensing his chakra, Naruto runs out of the arena. Easily, he catches up to Sasuke with his enhanced speed. Like in the original, Kankuro confronts them, but Shino takes over, saying to Naruto and Sasuke that they need to stop Gaara, and Naruto's new power could have a chance. Using Sage Mode, Naruto tracks down Gaara's chakra, and Sasuke follows behind. Temari is with Gaara though, but Gaara smacks Temari away, leaving Naruto and Sasuke for himself. Now just imagine Gaara versus Naruto, who had Sage Mode, some control of his Kyuubi chakra, and Sasuke. Well, you guessed it, Gaara is going to have a hard time. Sasuke impatiently launches at Gaara, going for a hit. Gaara easily smacks it away, but Sasuke comes in again with a fireball jutsu. Gaara dodges it and sends an extended Shukaku arm at Sasuke. Naruto then leaps into tanking the hit for Sasuke. Gaara's eyes widen as he saw Naruto just tank a full clean hit from him at himself. Naruto then shouts at Gaara, I'm ending this now. Sasuke and I will beat you. Gaara becomes more bloodlusted and unleashes the full Shukaku state. Like in the original, Naruto summons Gamabunta to go against the Shukaku, while Naruto leaps across to try to get Gaara. He summons 5 Shadow Clones at his aid to stop Gaara. This time Naruto doesn't need his man-tailed chakra, and goes at Gaara with all 5 Shadow Clones, sending a barrage of hits landing onto Gaara. Gaara transforms out of his one-tailed state and him and Naruto land to the ground. Naruto's Sage Mode disappears and Naruto starts his Talk Mode Jutsu, saying how he was the same as Gaara, like Jinchuriki and being rejected and all that. Meanwhile, Orochimaru and Sarutobi finish their fight with Hiruzen dying and Orochimaru's arms are unable to work. Sakura and the dog summoning Kakashi summon find Naruto and Sasuke, taking them back. The attack on Konoha stops and the enemy leaves. The third Hokage gets his funeral, and that's the end of the arc. So we start off our story with Jiraiya getting approached by the village's elders, offering him a position for the 5th Hokage. Like in the original, Jiraiya declines, but offers to find a better candidate for the position. And of course we know who that is, Jiraiya's old teammate Tsunade. He also takes Naruto with him on his journey. The start of the arc pretty much plays out the same way, with Itachi and Kasame going to the Elite Village and versing Kakashi, Kurenai, and Asuma. leaving Kakashi in the hospital and Sasuke finding out that his brother has returned. So we cut to the hotel where Naruto is staying at while Jiraiya is out doing some of his research. Naruto hears a knock on the door, but this time he's more cautious and decides to check their chakra by going into stage mode. He senses something dark, something evil. Naruto takes step backs away from the door. Oh man, why'd that pervy sage have to leave me alone right now? Naruto says to himself. Well, they probably will come in, so I'll have to start this first. Naruto dashes at the door, still in stage mode, and breaks it completely apart. From the other side of the door, Itachi feels an impact and gets thrown into the wall. Naruto stands in front of the broken door, witnessing 2 Kage level rogue ninjas getting ready to fight. Naruto freezes a bit, spotting Itachi's Sharingan. No, it can't be. Naruto gets cut off by Sasuke entering the scene, with an unleashed Chidori in the palm of his hand. Long time no see, brother, Itachi says grimly. Itachi, I've come to kill you, Sasuke cries out, running at his brother. It's pretty much the same. Itachi breaks Sasuke's hand, but this time, seeing his friend's hand broken, Naruto leaves his sage mode to no waste and charged at the Akatsuki members. At that moment, Jiraiya pops in and tells Naruto that he has no chance against these guys at this point of his training. He also tells Sasuke to calm down and says that vengeance can consume him and turn him into a monster. Sasuke stops and thinks about getting his vengeance another day. And like the original, Jiraiya casts the Toad Mouth Jutsu, making Itachi and Kusame retreat. Knowing it's safe now, Naruto makes his sage mode go away and checks if Sasuke is okay. And remember, in this what if, Itachi never put Sasuke through his infinite Tsukiyomi, and also didn't tell him that he only came for Sasuke, not him. So Sasuke's hatred levels are a bit down, but not fully down, because he's a bit jealous of Naruto's progression through stage mode. Guy arrives to take Sasuke back and reminds Naruto and Jiraiya to find Tsunade. Now that part of the arc ends, and we are going to go to the part where they find Tsunade and learn the Rasengan. So this part of the what if, Jiraiya introduces Naruto to the Rasengan. After Naruto seeing what it could do when Jiraiya used it against some thugs, Jiraiya with no hesitation teaches Naruto the Rasengan. Since Naruto managed to learn stage mode in only 4 weeks, they go through training with the rubber balloon and balls, with Naruto actually doing some really good progress. Also, like in the original, Tsunade gets offered by Orochimaru that he will revive her brother and lover if she could heal his hands. Orochimaru gives Tsunade a week to think about it. Tsunade goes to the bar and runs into Jiraiya and Naruto. Jiraiya tells her about the Hokage position, and this leads to her disrespecting the Hokage, and Naruto doesn't like that, so he challenges her to a fight. They both go outside and ready for battle. Naruto gathers all the natural energy inside himself to go into stage mode. Tsunade's eyes widen. Jiraiya, you told him that? Who is this boy? Naruto smirks and says, Naruto Uzumaki at your service, and I'm going to become Hokage. But before that, you're going to fill this role for now. Naruto points at Tsunade. He then forms 2 shadow clones, splitting some of his Senjutsu chakra in them so they can have stage mode too. Naruto and his clones then charge at Tsunade, throwing kunais at her too. The first clone that gets near Tsunade gets completely destroyed. The other clone disappears from Tsunade's sight and shows up behind her. The clone strikes into Tsunade's back, sending her flying. She regains being able to stand, but Naruto sends a frog kata hit her way. Tsunade, knowing what he did, lifts her arm up to block herself. The impact throws her backwards though. This boy is strong, she says to herself. As Naruto goes for another hit, his Senjutsu runs out, leaving him vulnerable to Tsunade's attack. Tsunade runs at Naruto and flicks his head like in the original, and he gets thrown off balance and is slammed onto the ground. Naruto gets mad and forms an incomplete Rasengan and runs at Tsunade. It's going to be the same with Tsunade countering Naruto's attack and betting Naruto to complete his Rasengan in 1 week. Jiraiya believes very well that Naruto could do this, and they go off to finish their training, while Tsunade goes to deal with Orochimaru. So everything leads up to the Sannin fight, with Tsunade not giving into Orochimaru's lies. Jiraiya and Naruto show up, and Naruto is ordered to protect Tsunade while Jiraiya deals with Orochimaru. He's shocked to find out Kabuto is working with Orochimaru all along, and with no hesitation cast the Shadow Clone Jutsu, making 5 clones, with the real him charging up his Sage mode. While he's charging up, Kabuto easily takes down 3 clones, then destroys the last one as soon as Naruto has finished his transformation. Naruto grins as he holds his palm out and chakra starts to swirl in his hand. Kabuto doesn't care about what Naruto is doing and he goes for a head-on attack. Naruto unleashes his Rasengan and strikes Kabuto right into the stomach. With the stage mode boost, it almost kills him. Blood flies everywhere as Kabuto lands on the ground defeated. Naruto's stage mode exhausts and disappears. As Orochimaru goes for an attack on him, Tsunade jumps in to take the attack for Naruto and announces herself as the 5th Hokage. Like the original, the Sannin have their battle and Orochimaru retreats with an injured Kabuto. So the arc would end there and Tsunade becomes the 5th Hokage. So now, Naruto returns to the village to find his team. He doesn't go to the hospital though since Sasuke didn't go through Itachi's Tsukuyomi. He finds Sasuke walking around. Naruto decides to say hi to him and to his shock, Sasuke says he's been waiting for him. Sasuke continues to say that he needs to battle him to see what his strength is at this point, so he knows that he's strong enough to kill Itachi. Sasuke's eyes stare grimly at Naruto, showing that he's serious, and he turns on his Sharingan. Naruto states that he's a bit tired since of all of the adventures that he had gone through. Sasuke doesn't listen and jumps at Naruto for a kick. Naruto gets shot to the ground. "Hey, what was that for?" he says while getting mad. "Fight me," Sasuke demands, going for another attack, and Naruto accepts countering that attack and striking Sasuke with a swift punch. So now last time we left off with Naruto fighting Sasuke. It's kind of like their rooftop fight, but now it's in more likely a field, since Sasuke never went through Itachi's Tsukuyomi and went to the hospital. So the fight continues with both of them exchanging blows. Naruto hasn't used his Sage mode yet, thinking it would be too hard for Sasuke. "Why haven't you turned on that mode that you used against Gaara, Naruto?" Sasuke shouts, getting enraged. "Am I too weak for you to go all out?" Naruto ignores Sasuke's words and makes shadow clones. Sasuke bounces back, flips over and emits the fireball jutsu, taking out half the clones. While Naruto closes in, he launches a punch straight towards Sasuke's face. Sasuke then catches it and flips Naruto over. The fight continues on, but Sasuke begs for Naruto to use Sage mode against him, but he still ignores Sasuke's request. Sasuke then has enough and unleashes the Chidori, with fury in his eyes. "Alright, then I'll make you turn it on." Sasuke then rushes at Naruto at full speed with the Chidori in the palm of his hand. Naruto chuckles to himself and begins to make the Rasengan. Sakura then walks into the field saying that she's been looking for them, but at that moment, Sasuke and Naruto begin to charge at each other with their respective jutsus. Sasuke's fury grows more seeing Naruto's new jutsu, the Rasengan. Sakura screams out to them, but they're both about to clash. And at that moment, Kakashi comes in and, like the original, throws both of them away. They both land at their own tree, with the Chidori piercing the tree and the Rasengan breaking the tree in half. Sasuke gets a glimpse of what the Rasengan can do and takes his hand out of the tree and walks away. Naruto stares at his comrade as he walks away and thinks about Sasuke's anger he had in his eyes when they're about to clash. Kakashi then jumps next to Sasuke. "What did you think you were doing? Why would you aim a Chidori at your own teammate?" Kakashi and Sasuke talk go the same way like the original way, with Sasuke saying how Kakashi wouldn't understand him and all that. Kakashi leaves saying how revenge only makes things worse, and Sasuke continues to walk away. Naruto and Sakura go back to their places and we cut to nighttime. Sasuke is still walking outside, wondering if he was too weak for Naruto to turn on his Sage mode. Then thinks about what Kakashi said about vengeance. Sasuke goes back and forth upon hearing vengeance and weakness. He places his hand on his head as his head aches with the words erupting in his mind. Weakness. Vengeance. Sasuke then thinks back to the time when he saw Itachi again. "I should have stopped him there. I should have not let the old man hold me back." Sasuke thinks to himself, and at that point, he senses a group of people heading towards him. He launches himself backwards, dodging an incoming attack, and sees webs. The Soundfall appears in his sight, and with all of them smirking at Sasuke. Sarkon runs at Sasuke, sending attacks his way. Sasuke prepares himself and does well against him. The other Soundfall members jump Sasuke too, and he gets ganged on. Sasuke gets pummeled to the ground, unable to go against all of the four. What do you want from me? Sarkon hangs Sasuke upside down. We don't want you, but our master does. I'm sure you've heard of him, Orochimaru. Sasuke's eyes widen and places his hand on the curse mark. Master Orochimaru wants to give you power, enough power for whatever goal you have. So will you come with us? Sarkon drops Sasuke down, awaiting for his answer. Sure, I'll come with you guys. After hearing Sasuke's answer, they will leave Konoha. We cut to in the morning where there have been reports of Sasuke Uchiha missing. In the what if though, Sakura didn't meet with Sasuke as he was about to leave, so nobody knows where he went. Naruto gets a knock on the door and he opens it, revealing Shikamaru, telling him of Sasuke's disappearance and saying how he can help find him. Shikamaru also informs Naruto that he has to meet with the Hokage, Tsunade. Naruto arrives at the Hokage office and Tsunade tells Naruto he could use the stage mode to sense Sasuke's chakra and where he's going. Sakura is also there with them, watching what Naruto is going to do with Shikamaru. Naruto enters his sage mode state and tries hard to sense Sasuke's chakra. He eventually does, but also picks up 4 other chakra signals next to Sasuke's. Tsunade tells them that he must be kidnapped by rogue ninjas, and she sets up a squad to go after Sasuke, consisting of Shikamaru, Neji, Kiba, Choji, and of course Naruto. The teams are really the same, but unlike in the original, the interactions with the squad are different. Like Neji still doesn't like Naruto that much since he got completely bodied by him in the training exams when he used Sage Mode, and Kiba and Choji actually respect Naruto's power. Lee is still unable to go since his leg is broken, and Sakura, well, she's still useless, but only at this point in time. So now the squad sets off for Sasuke. The group eventually finds themselves against Jirobo first, like in canon, and he traps them in his clay prison. They have a quicker way with getting out, since Naruto enters Sage Mode and breaks the clay prison. Choji vs Jirobo originally, and eventually Neji vs Kinemaro, Kiba vs Sarkon and Yukon, and Shikamaru faces Taiyo. Naruto manages to catch up with Kimimaro, and his fight with him will be very different. Naruto summons a whole bunch of clones to see how strong Kimimaro is first before he uses Sage Mode. The clones will launch themselves at Kimimaro, trying to get a hit, but Naruto notices that Kimimaro is pretty strong, and he continues to show how good he is while destroying half the clones using his bone jutsu. Naruto makes some shadow clones disappear, leaving 3 left to defend him, while he charges up for Sage Mode. The clones try their best to defend him, but Kimimaro blitzes them and attacks Naruto when Naruto is still standing still when he's trying to go into Sage Mode. Kimimaro goes for the kill, but at that moment, Lee kicks his arm away from Naruto and sends Kimimaro flying. Thanks Bushy Brows, that was a close one. No problem Naruto, but now go after Sasuke, cause look, Lee points at the barrel Sasuke was placed in and it opens up, revealing Sasuke, and he runs away from the others towards the final valley. Naruto finishes going into Sage Mode and races after Sasuke while Lee stays to fight Kimimaro. Eventually Kimimaro gets pushed to his curse mark state and Gaara joins the fight. Kimimaro also dies after that with his sickness, and Kankuro and Tamaru help Kiba and Shikamaru. So now we're up to the point where Sasuke and Naruto's final battle is. Note that Naruto currently has his Sage Mode on and is ready to take Sasuke back. Heh, I see now you want to use that against me Naruto, you must be desperate. Sasuke, you're coming back to the village now. Naruto rockets himself towards Sasuke as quickly as he can, using the speed boost from his Sage Mode. Sasuke's Sharingan doesn't have time to react to Naruto's speed, and he doesn't have any time to dodge, so he gets a full fist to the face, sending him into the rocks. Sasuke gets all bloodied up. I see, that's why you didn't want to use it. Well, if you're gonna use that power, I guess I'll use this power I just acquired. Sasuke lets the curse marks surge through his body, making it go to level 2. Naruto gets enraged by seeing the curse mark's powers and begins to use the Nine Tails chakra. Now we have Naruto who has Sage Mode and the Nine Tails chakra versing Sasuke using the curse mark level 2 state. Let's see who wins. Naruto dashes at Sasuke, swinging a claw at him, and Sasuke dodges easily and flies behind Naruto, going for a successful hit, but Naruto just turns around feeling nothing. Is that all you have, Sasuke? Is that your only power? Naruto turns around facing Sasuke and unleashes his Rasengan and blitzes him with the Rasengan, crashing into Sasuke. Sasuke gets thrown into rocks and gets knocked out cold. His curse mark goes away for now and Naruto gets out of sage mode and his Nine-Tailed chakra. I've stopped you, Sasuke, now you're coming back. We left off with Naruto bodying Sasuke and winning in their fight. The both of them eventually return to the village, and let's just say Sasuke gets convinced into staying into the village. There were no charges against him since he didn't really hurt the village, so he wasn't put away. So we're gonna have a 2-year time skip. And in the time skip, like in the original, Naruto goes with Jiraiya to train, and this time Kakashi takes Sasuke someplace to train too. So in the time skip, both of them are training hard and Sasuke is determined to surpass Naruto, since he got beaten in their first fight. And Sakura trained with Tsunade, and Neji, especially Neji, trains really hard to surpass Naruto too, since he got bodied by him completely in the Chunin exams, and he wants that to change. So we'll probably get more of Neji in the next parts, but this part we won't have Neji, he's just too busy training trying to surpass Naruto. But yeah, and the rest of the Konoha 11 do their own thing in the time skip, and soon the Akatsuki will make their move. Now we cut 2 years into the timeline, Naruto returns into the village with Jiraiya, and yeah, he has become stronger, like way stronger. When he was training, he learned how to create a better, stronger Rasengan using Sage Mode, and also learned how to maintain his Sage Mode a bit longer. Naruto walks into Konoha, and coincidentally, Kakashi and Sasuke walk in too. They greet each other while Naruto goes on to talk about how strong he has become. Sasuke then interrupts him into saying how he has gotten stronger too, and maybe even stronger than Naruto. Naruto doubts what Sasuke is saying, and they come to a conclusion that they should battle this out in a sparring match. All of them look for a place where Naruto and Sasuke would spar, and they eventually stick to a wide open area they find, like a field. The both of them spread out, leaving some distance between each other. Jiraiya and Kakashi spectate to watch over their students too. In the match, Sage Mode and Curse Marks are restricted from their use, since this isn't really that serious. They both get themselves ready for battle, but before they begin, Sasuke closes his eyes and opens them again, revealing a free Tomoe Sharingan. Naruto's eyes widen and he grins. Yeah, Sasuke was able to unlock his free Tomoe Sharingan from the intense training him and Kakashi were doing. And like that, we begin. Sasuke gets a quick start jumping into the air, shooting 3 fireball jutsus. Naruto dodges fairly quickly, avoiding the shots, and begins to make shadow clones. One of the clones stay next to him and they both make a medium-sized Rasengan. While Sasuke is getting distracted by the other clones, Naruto throws the Rasengans he made into the ground, making a smoke screen. And from here, he secretly moves closer to Sasuke and jumps out of the smoke, going for a strike. But Sasuke easily counters this attack since of his Sharingan, of course, and grabs Naruto's arm, throwing him into the ground. From here, Sasuke makes a Chidori and points it at Naruto. "You're finished now, loser. I win." As Sasuke says that, Naruto disappears, revealing that it was a clone too. The real Naruto comes out from behind Sasuke and shoves a Rasengan into his back. It wasn't that strong, but the impact was powerful, and it sends Sasuke flying. As Sasuke crashes into the ground, he turns into a log, and turned out that he was using his transformation jutsu. So the real Sasuke leaps into Naruto's view with a Chidori in the palm of his hand. Naruto creates another Rasengan, readying for Sasuke's attack. They both eventually clash at each other with their signature jutsus, and both get sent backwards from the impact. They both didn't make their attacks that strong, since it might have resulted in them losing an arm. Kakashi announces that they both tie in this match and they leave the battle. Naruto then goes on to say how Sasuke could match up to him now with that Sharingan, and Sasuke just smirks. We cut to a later time with the Leaf Village hearing the news about Gaara's loss against the Akatsuki, and also on how the Sand Village need their help. Tsunade calls upon Team 7, knowing that they're the strongest squad in the Konoha 11, and how they could be great help to save Gaara from the Akatsuki. Naruto, Sasuke, and Kakashi meet Sakura again, seeing how much she changed after training with Tsunade. Team 7 eventually journey to the Sand Village, being accompanied by Team Guy as well. And like in the original, Conqueror gets poisoned by sorcery, Sakura saves him, and they also recruit Chio. We go onto the part where Team Guy gets confronted by a 30% clone of Kisame, and Team 7 gets confronted by a 30% clone of Itachi. So the Team Guy fight goes the same, but the Itachi one goes a bit different, with Sasuke actually being there this time, and of course Naruto has Sage Mode. When they meet Itachi, this time Sasuke doesn't overreact. He just keeps his cool since he has matured over the years through Kakashi's training. They all take their stance for this battle and Naruto charges up his Sage mode. Itachi just stands there staring at Sasuke, fixated on how Sasuke has matured. Sasuke just smiles and whispers to himself, "Finally, I have my chance to kill Itachi and avenge my clan." Itachi then points at Sasuke and announces, "I see you haven't killed Naruto yet, brother. As I said years ago, to get to my level of power, you have to kill your closest friend." Sasuke just ignores Itachi's taunts and gets ready. He unleashes a Chidori and reveals his 3 Tomu Sharingan. Sasuke charges at Itachi, hoping that this time would be the chance he finally kills him. But as he is running, he was under Itachi's Genjutsu the whole time. Sasuke finds himself by himself while hearing sound of slaughtering and hopeless screams. He then chuckles out loud. "Haha, Itachi, I guess this is one of your weaker Genjutsus." Sasuke says this as he breaks out the Genjutsu and slices Itachi with his Chidori. "I've got you this time, brother." After all the training Sasuke has been through, his evolved Sharingan was able to get out of a weaker Genjutsu Itachi put upon him, and maybe he could even break out of a stronger one. Itachi falls to the ground after getting sliced and he disappears, revealing to the team that he was only a clone, and also revealing someone else that was from the Sand Village, using as a decoy. Sasuke becomes enraged from the fact that it was only a clone he was fighting, but Kakashi soon calms him down. So eventually Team Guy finished up the battle with Kisame and they beat up with Team 7 at the Akatsuki hideout that Deidara and Sasori were staying at. Like in the original, Team Guy fights clones of themselves and Team 7 confront the Akatsuki members. At this point, Gaara has already got the Biju extracted from him and died. Naruto, seeing Deidara next to Gaara's corpse, realizes he was the one who did this. He goes into Sage mode to confirm if Gaara is alive or not, and sadly he doesn't find any chakra inside of him. Naruto, seeing Gaara dead, enrages him into unleashing his Kyuubi chakra inside of him. Deidara tries to escape the hideout but gets intercepted by Sasuke's Chidori scream. Now Deidara is trapped to fight against an angered Naruto and also Sasuke, while Kakashi, Sakura, and Chihiro battle Sasori. So last time we left off with Gaara left dead as he just got the Shukaku extracted from him. Also Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi, Sakura, and Chihiro face off the Akatsuki who did this to Gaara. Naruto and Sasuke targets Deidara while Kakashi, Sakura, and Chihiro go for Sasori. Now last time Naruto was raged by the fact that one of the only people that understands his pain, one of the only people who is a Jinchuriki like him, is dead. His Kyuubi chakra starts pouring out into his will. His pupils turn into a slit-like state while his teeth become longer and sharper. Naruto doesn't even need to go into Sage mode, he just goes full on Kurama Kyuubi Beast mode. Sasuke gets ready with his new sword he got from Kakashi when they were training with each other. Kakashi suggested that Sasuke should learn the arts of Kenjutsu since he looked like the sword type of guy. And also Kakashi could train him with it since he had some experience with swords back in his Anbu days, and also when he was younger. Back to the fight, Sasuke engulfs his sword with lightning chakra with his Chidori style, and charges it at Deidara. Deidara tries to hover with his clay monster to try to get some distance since he's not really good in close combat and lightning style jutsus. But Sasuke is too fast and gets to Deidara's side at the right time, sending his sword's lightning into his stomach. Deidara gets sent hurling backwards, and just at the moment Naruto takes off, speeding into his direction too. With no defense at his disposal right now, Deidara takes a hit from Naruto, sending him to the ground. That's for Gaara, and now for the next hit, you're dead. Blood pours onto the ground as Deidara tries to get up. He then smiles as he makes more explosive clay, unseen by Naruto or Sasuke. As he gets up, he unleashes the clay, revealing his C2 explosion, which is in the form of a dragon. Deidara takes flight above with it, scaling over Naruto and Sasuke, and sends guided missiles of clay at them. They go all over the place looking for their targets while Sasuke uses his lightning nature to take them down. Naruto kind of just ignores them since he's really targeted on Deidara for killing Gaara. He races at him at top speed, ready to leap, but since he didn't care about the missiles around him, the ones that Sasuke didn't cut down, all head right into Naruto head on. The missiles impact onto Naruto, sending him flying into the ground unconscious. Since of his blinded anger, he wasn't really in control of his body, but acted out of instinct to try to catch Deidara. But now he's on the ground defeated, leaving Sasuke to fend for himself. Deidara laughs at the fact of Naruto's defeat, calling him pathetic and that he's not a real shinobi for not acting out of plan. Sasuke finishes cutting down all the remaining missiles and shows a cold stare towards Deidara. Don't call him pathetic. He's one of the best shinobi I've ever seen. He risked his life to save me for the better future, from my anger and my hatred. Sasuke bounces backward and creates a giant fireball jutsu, destroying the cave's ceiling. After that, he creates another bigger fireball jutsu, flaming it into the sky, creating clouds, dark clouds. Sasuke puts his hand up and finally says to Deidara, "Be gone," with the thunderclap. Kirin! A bolt of lightning shoots from his hand, hurling into the clouds. The sky has become darker and the atmosphere has become more humid. Sasuke smirks while a giant lightning dragon figure appears out of the sky. Sasuke learnt this technique himself while training with Kakashi, while learning to do more moves with his lightning style. Deidara looks up to the sky in disbelief, since lightning is his weakness. He thinks there's no way out of this except getting away, and he does that, trying to fly as fast as he can out of Sasuke's view. But Kirin, just like Deidara's missiles, they target the enemy. Sasuke lets out a grin and sends Kirin rocketing towards Deidara, completely obliterating him. Deidara's presence has completely vanished from the world, with no trace of any of his remains. The lightning clouds disappear and Sasuke returns to Naruto's side, lifting him up, taking him somewhere safe, somewhere near Gaara. We cut to the fight against Sasori versus Kakashi, Sakura, and Chie. Sasori has already revealed his true form and also has been pushed to use his 100 puppets attack. Like in the original, Chie controls Sakura's movement with her puppet technique, making her more versatile in her attacks, while Kakashi cuts the puppets with his Chidori, also dodging their attacks so he won't get poisoned. As his Chidori runs out, he thinks it's time for him to use his new move that he's been working on. In the time skip when he was training with Sasuke, he worked more on this move while training with Sasuke, making him more adaptable with it. In his left eye, his Sharingan turns to a new shape. He then shouts out to Sakura and Chie to get back, and that he has a plan. He positions himself nicely, ready for his new move that he's about to do, Kamui. Kakashi unleashes Kamui on the puppet, and this time he's able to control it better than the original, since he trained with it a lot in the time skip. Kamui then begins to pull the puppets in while Sasori is confused on how this is happening. Then he notices that Kakashi is the one who's doing this and dashes towards his way, getting himself out of Kamui's distance. He appears by Kakashi's side ready to take him out, but Sakura appears behind him quickly while Chie is still controlling her. Sakura lets out a huge hit into Sasori's back, sending him into pieces, but he's not defeated yet. Eventually, Kakashi gets overwhelmed by all the puppets that he got into his Kamui dimension, but he does finish teleporting some of them away. He falls to the ground exhausted and unable to fight any longer. But after that, Sakura and Chie finish off the remaining puppets, making them no more. While this is happening, Sasori makes his return in one of the defeated puppets that was left unteleported, stabbing Sakura. Like in the original though, he lets himself get stabbed by his parents' puppets and left dead. Chie heals Sakura and they go to meet up with Naruto and Sasuke with Kakashi. The group eventually ends up at Gaara's body and Chie says that she has an idea to save him, which we know that she is going to sacrifice herself to save the current Kazekage. After that, they mourn Chie's death and they journey their way back to the Leaf Village. We cut to Team 7 in a forest trying to find their way back to the village, but as they do that, they sense something not right in the air. Leaves rattle in the bushes at the side of them, hinting that someone's following them. The team stops and freezes in place, waiting for the person who's following them to jump out. They wait and wait until a giant smoke appears in the bushes as something rises, scaling to the high trees. To Team 7's sight, 3 large snakes loom over them with a menacing look. They've been summoned by someone. Everyone, stay cautious, in front and behind of you. Kakashi takes stance shielding his team for what else has to come. The snakes though, they don't wait but strike at the group, but unfortunately for them, Naruto has been charging up his stage mode while Sasuke has transformed into his curse mark level 2 state. They both stand side by side and charge at the enemy snakes, leaving Kakashi and Sakura to deal with the unknown visitor they have. Someone then walks out of the bushes with another person behind them. Well, Sasuke has grown up, and I see that Naruto boy has a sage mode. Maybe that's why Sasuke didn't make it to my grasp. The person appears to Kakashi and Sakura's side, revealing himself to be Orochimaru, with Kabuto by his side like always. Now guys, I'll just end it off there, so hopefully you did enjoy. So like always, subscribe if you're new, hit that like button and turn on bell notifications. It's been the Blue Fang, peace.